How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about GGPI. We've been seeing a lot of volatility inside of the markets, and I don't blame some of you. You've been sending me some messages saying, Dre, are you still holding on to this play? What are your thoughts on it? So I'm going to update you guys in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for GGPI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $11.05, being up 0.09%. On the low, it tested $10.85, and then on the high, testing $11.20. So when we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 2.893 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 3.165 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we saw some consistency in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 49.04. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, we're also below the 21-day EMA, and we're also below the 50-day. So what we are seeing from GGPI is a perfect example of consistency. So we ended up seeing a high of the day at $11.20, and this has been a resistance area in the past, and of course we ended up selling off, and we ended up seeing a low of $10.85, which is a support area we're also aware of. So if we end up having a pullback going into tomorrow, then I'd want to see us hold up right here around the 200-day of $10.67. If we end up seeing a move to the upside now, then of course what I see at the most is maybe right here around $11.30. We do want to see this stock get to $11.50, which would put it up above the 100-day, but again, that's going to be very difficult in my opinion due to the market conditions that we are in. So if we just want to continue to consolidate within this range, this is not too bad either, because at least when things do turn around, we can get ready for that next move up, or when we get that news in regards to what the combination date is going to be for Polestar and GGPI. I will continue to keep you guys inside of the loop, but that's all I got for you guys. Not really much to talk about. It's just been consistent. So let's go on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for GGPI. So for the off-exchange short volume ratio, it's at 37.27%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is at 454,942 shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.4 million, updated just now. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.99%. Taking a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of March the 4th, it's at 42.30, and then for the close of the 7th being at 37.27. So what this shows us right away, GGPI does have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for GGPI. So on the inflow, it's at 7.36. Then on the outflow, it's at 7.59. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 0.40. On the medium, it was 5.39. And then on the small, it was 1.57. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0.21. On the medium, it was 5.66. And then on the small, it was 1.72. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see from March the 8th, we ended up having that inflow of over 185,000. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at their turnover ratio, it was at 3.25%. So this is not too bad whatsoever. We know this is a SPAC. We know the floor price is at $10. You guys know what I like to do. I like adding to my position when it is under $11. And I'm going to be looking for it to get down to the mid 10s. I know many of you may not want to hear that, but again, I do see some upside. So we'll talk about it further inside of the final thoughts. So let's get into the details right now. So for my final thoughts for GGPI, as far as for the price action, if we end up having a further pullback, I want to see if we could hold up around $10.65. If it breaks through this level, that's where I'm going to be looking to add more to my position. If you're looking for a bullish reversal now, then you want to see some price action above $11.42, and of course making that move to $11.50. We know this has been a resistance area in the past, but once we can get above $11.50, that's where we have that next level where we need to get to, which is at $12. So with these choppy markets, I am not seeing this for the coming week. I want to make sure I'm being completely straight up with you guys. But if you know already and what my strategy is, I don't mind waiting. I don't mind being patient. If you know you're the type of person that is not patient whatsoever, then you shouldn't be getting into this play. But one thing that is very clear though, it does look like we're going through some serious consolidation. And when I was analyzing the chart, we're doing a fairly good job maintaining support right at that 200 EMA. So I want to see a continuation of this, but again, there is a possibility where we can break through this level, and you got to be prepared for that. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that's why if we end up having a catalyst or we end up getting that date in regards to the merger, it can get real serious. I could see a jump inside of the stock. I am not looking for any big move whatsoever. I want to make sure I'm being very clear about that. I know many of you are looking for a big time return or a home run, I should say, but we have to understand the markets are choppy, so I don't mind revising my goal in regards to what I want to see from this stock. And what is that number going to be? Yes, I want to see us get to at least $13. Then I will think about actually taking profits. But here's the thing. It all depends how it gets to $13. If it's on a strong uptrend and there's a lot of buying volume, I'm not just going to sell at 13, especially if it's looking like it's going to 14 or if it's going to be going to 15. But do know if it goes to 14 or 15, I'm going to make sure that I have my stop loss right around 13. You want to make sure you're on the winning side. You don't need to have a green trade go red. It is just a waste of time. And plus on top of that, you do not want to be caught stock watching. And what do I call stock watching? That's when you're in a play, you don't have a strategy, you don't know what your exit is going to be, but you're like, you know what, I'll sell when it keeps going up. And at some point, you know what, I think I'll sell. No, that is not a strategy whatsoever. That's how you have your plays turn red on you. And that's something that you don't want happening, especially for 2022, when there are many traders who are inside of the play and they're looking to take profits. And if you haven't noticed already, as far as the price action we've been seeing in the market as a whole, it has become a trader's market. So if you don't have a trader's strategy and you want to trade these plays, especially for short or medium term, then you need to make sure you're staying on your A game, because if not, you are not going to win. But if you're a long-term investor, you already know patience, high conviction will work out for you, because you're not looking to be going in and out of plays. You are buying plays to hold it for at least a year and then seeing where the stock can possibly go, since you do believe in the company. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's see how the stock performs as we progress through this week. We'll talk soon.